Hello everyone and welcome back to Keep It English. Today we're going to talk about the verb to cut and its corresponding phrasal verbs to cut down, to cut off, to cut out and to cut up. So let's get started. To cut appears like a simple verb. Its past and participle are cut and cut. However, it is in fact a more complicated verb than you might think. There are 4 verbs for to cut, each expressing a slightly different motion, all of which I will cover in this video. The first verb is to cut down. This means to completely remove something that is taller, higher, or wider than you. For example, they cut down the tree, or we'll cut down the banner after the festival. Trees and banners are taller or higher than the person, and so it is to cut down. The second is to cut off. This means to remove a small amount from a larger entity. For example, many people got their heads cut off in the French Revolution. Or, the electricity to our house got cut off last night. Our house is a small part of a bigger network, and a head is a small part of a larger object called a body. The third is to cut out. This means to cut a shape out of something larger. For example, I cut out this shape from paper. Or, to make this dress, you must first cut out the pattern from the material. The final cut is to cut up. This means to destroy something through cutting. For example, he cut up his love letters. This means that the love letters were cut into very small pieces. Or, I will cut up these clothes to see if I can make something new from them. There are other synonyms for to cut. These include to slice, which means a delicate cut with a sharp knife used mainly for food. For example, to slice meat or to slice bread. And to chop, which means a heavy, energetic cutting motion through something hard. For example, to chop wood. To cut is complicated, and so to practice, I will give you a situation and you tell me whether it is to cut down, to cut off, to cut out, and to cut up. Ready? Number 1, a hedge. A hedge is a large plant used to divide fields and gardens. It is usually taller and wider than the person doing the cutting, and so it is to cut down a hedge. Number 2, newspaper. Well, the only word that works here is to cut up a newspaper. For example, the boy cut up newspaper for his project. Number 3, fingers. Fingers are a small piece of a larger thing called the body, and so it is to cut off fingers. Remember, this is to completely remove the fingers. If you only hurt yourself a little, then it would be to cut your fingers without a preposition. Number 4, a picture from a magazine. Well, there is only one cut left, and you're right. It is to cut out a picture from a magazine, because a picture is a shape from a larger material, in this case a magazine. And so there you have it. all the forms of to cut. To recap on any of the information here, go to lesson notes below or test your knowledge with our quiz. See you next time.